Hi everybody, Pro Spartan Gamer on PES 2014, and a couple of my subscribers have commented on the videos I've done on the rating videos of best young players in certain positions on what's new in PES this year. And I thought about it and I thought it's going to be quite hard because there's so much new in PES this year to fit it all into a video, so I'm going to try and keep it brief but get it all into this video. Try and show people what is new, I suppose. I mean, first and foremost, the whole engine is a new engine. It's a Fox engine from Konami, so loads new animations, lots of new features and graphics. I mean, first of all, on this front page, obviously this is new, the menus are new. You can see I've obviously spent some time in edit mode and I've changed things already, but you get a choice of your favourite team. So I've picked my edited SV Spartans team. I did previously have Everton on there, and then you get to choose your favourite player. So obviously once you get a Master League up and running or whatever, and you've got a favourite player, or you've generally got a favourite player in the real world out there, then you can have their face there with your kit on. So I chose SB Spartans. So usual sort of thing. Let's look in. You've got expedition match, ranking match online, friend match lobby, watch an expedition match. So that's the choices there on the match one. Football life, Master League, and become a legend. I'll talk about both of them in a minute or two. They've both had overhauls and different sort of features, plus and minuses on some of them. Maybe some things left out, some things added. Like I say, we'll chat about them in a minute. Competition, so you got licensed Champions League, licensed Europa League, you got the Copa Libertadores, which all three of them were in last year. New one is AFC Asian Champions League, so lots of new teams there, which is a really good plus. Cup mode, which is the usual, you know, you can go in, you can play a World Cup, European Cup, African Cup of Nations, all of that sort of stuff, and you've got your usual Konami Cup, which you can pick whatever you like, formation, and make your own cup competition. And back this year is League mode, which is obviously a big plus, so you can play any of the domestic leagues you like. That was missing from 2014, so that is back now, so that's a big plus. Training mode, again, like before, you've got your performance training, which helps you go through all your features and all the new moves. Lots of new moves and new button things, so that's really worth going into there and looking. A lot more now on the right stick is used for weight shift on your player and sort of shoulder barging, leaning into players, putting your arm out. So that's different. A lot of the moves are different. You know, obviously you've still got your pass, your long pass, your shot, and your chipped balls, but there are different variations of them on this year's game. And I think the skills have probably been simplified a little bit, which is a good thing. And then lots of changes to this baby, which we're going to go into, the edit mode. So as this loads, I will just show you the changes that have been made on edit mode, just so you know. Basically the same sort of setup here, but one of the big changes is in the way that players are set up. So if I go into edit a player, I'm not going to be particularly worried about what player I get, so I'll go into Arsenal and I'll try and pick someone who's maybe not got a player ID face. Let's think. Possibly Aaron Ramsey. I don't reckon he'll have a face, decent face. So if you go into the face edit on here, this is a big difference. There's Aaron Ramsey. If you go into build on the face editor, there you are. Straight away you're going to see that this is totally different. The way you changed a player's face, so much more detail now. All these points can be plus and minus, nose, everything. So you can try and get a lot closer to recreating the player's face. And again, from side profile, again, lots of options, and then you go in, still got lists and lists of different stuff there. and again there on the upper face, and then again on the 5th page. So much more in depth, the face editor, to create your own players. There are a few players in the game whose faces aren't the best. There are quite a few face editors out there, like Chucky Boy 12345 on Twitter if you follow him, and he's also got a YouTube channel. He's one that does a lot of, he's doing face edits and putting out new faces for you to put in the game. So the community are working to make the faces better, but if you fancy having a go yourself, obviously it's a lot more in depth and you can get a lot closer. The other thing, which is a nice touch this year, is crowd support. I'll just show you, that's gone into a lot more. Obviously I've not loaded stuff into the library, but you can have particular tracks or chants specific to a player, assigned to a player and to a team, and there's loads of them you can put on. I'll just show you on the team. If we go into team edit, into the teams, there you are. So back in and it'll be Arsenal again because they're the first on the list, so you guys haven't got to wait too long. Crowd support, there's a list, look at it all. You can assign to your team, whether they're winning, whether they're losing, when they're top of the league, all the other standard ones, the rival club or Tottenham Hotspur, that's printed in there. So all of these chants you can change to anything you like Red and White Army, Arsenal Red and White Army, come on you Gunners, whatever you want to put on there you could put on there. Derby match, so you've got different ones for derby match, you've got player entrance, you've got pre-match. So let's say if I was doing Everton there, I'd probably put Z cars in there for the players entrance. That would be really cool. In fact I will do that. So, and then you've got free kicks, when unhappy with a ref's decision, cheering after the final whistle. There is just oodles there to do. That is a real nice feature this year. So we're going to strip. Lots of changes in the strip. First and foremost, down the bottom you will see on the square button there is an add key. That allows you to add, there you are, the 3rd and 4th players for a team. So you can now have 4 kits per team and you can edit 4 kits, or a lot of the fantastic option file makers we have out there will be assigning 3rd and 4th kits to the proper teams, no doubt. And you can see in this one, Arsenal's already been done in the first kit. This is a file by Glenn the Magpie on his GTS World website. Fantastic option file. There's equally good ones though on PES Universe done by Roy. Winning 11 have done one, and obviously Xbox owners will know probably DJ Damos and the like. So I'm using a PS3 option file, one that I said Glenn released on Sunday night, I think it came out, the first edition. Anyway, what we'll use, just to show you, we'll pretend we're going to make a 3rd kit. Obviously we're not, but just to show you the changes here. In the shirt now you have 5 different layers. Last year there was only 4, so this allows you to add far more detail into the kit. You know, if you want to put extra colours around the outside, or stripes down the shoulders, stripes around the bottom of the shirt, you can really, you've got 5 layers on there on the shirt designer. Likewise on the shorts you've now got 4, I think it was 3 last year, and the same on the socks. So lots there. Also on the markings, if we go into markings and logos, there's another difference there. Not just a chest logo now, you can put sleeve logos, short logos and sock logos. So if we go back into the first kit, I can show you what I mean. So you can see from the Arsenal first kit, when it loads, there is Nike on the socks now and Nike on the shorts, as well as an Arsenal emblem there on the shorts. So that's all new this year as well. So that's edit mode, really wrapped up in a bit of a quick bundle, but lots of changes there in edit mode. Okay, so we're back with it now, back to this menu after edit mode. So we've seen edit mode. That's a nice touch on the right as well. I obviously played a Konami Cup with Belgium, and you can see the last result in that was 1-0 to Belgium, and it just shows you that Mertens scored in the 97th minute because it went to extra time. So that's a nice little touch. And there, my last expedition match, Borussia Dortmund beat Afterlife 2-1, and Lewandowski scored the first goal, and there's a picture of him. So that's a nice touch. Okay, changes to these. Become a legend. I've not started this, so you'll have to just bear with me, but first and foremost, on Become a Legend this year, you can now be a goalie. So if you wanted to go in here, I'm just doing this quick just to show you. So I'm going to go to Zenit St. Petersburg. I can now be a goalkeeper, which is obviously a new feature, a big feature. Previously you couldn't be a goalie, you now can. All these menus are different, as you can see. So I can be a goalie there, and there's your new goalkeeping controls. So that's all new, which I don't know how that's going to pan out, whether you guys like that idea or not. I think it's a nice touch that you can now be a goalie, and I like this, the camera angle, zoom in as you come forward. That's the same as when you sign players in the Master League as well. That's what happens now, so I think that's a nice touch. The other thing as well in Become a Legend this year, which wasn't in last year's, you can actually put this player now that you create. If you created your own player, say for example, let's say James Owen, the one who asked for this video, if he created himself in game edit player and he wanted to be him in Become a Legend, you can then put him into the Master League for someone to sign. So I think that's a nice touch. Obviously all these menus are different. You've got no more of the office scenes in either Master League or Become a Legend. They've gone. It's all about shortcutting it, really. Nice clean menus. You can see it all there. Nice and fresh. Simple to navigate through everything. So like the biggest changes really in Become a Legend this year are the fact that you can be a goalkeeper, and the streamlined menus, and obviously the more clubs you can go to. I mean, that's the other big thing. Let's come out of this now. I just wanted to show you the depth of clubs that are on this year's PES as well. So okay, so I've got the option file in, but it's exactly the same. No more leagues as such have been added yet. So you've got Barclays Prem or English League if you haven't got the file loaded up yet. French League, Italian League, Dutch League, Spanish League, Portuguese League, Bundesliga, which will be the second division, or when you've got the edit pack, it will be the Bundesliga, obviously. Other European teams, so there's lots of teams in there as well. Brazilian League, Argentinian League, Chilean League. Those two are new. Argentina and Chile, they're new. This will be the second division. So if you started, say, a Master League in South America, then the second division there will be the Mexican League on this particular file. But other people might choose to do, say, Colombian League or whatever. But on this particular one, we're going to have the Mexican League. So it's another lot of new players. You've got other teams in Latin America. You've then got the Asian Champions League, and you're going to have a second league there, which is going to be the J League. Again, some might choose to do a Chinese league or Korean league, but J League's probably the best one, best well-known one. And then you've got other teams in Asia, and then you've got the Sky Bet Championship, which like I said earlier would have been the Bundesliga, but no, that's Division 2 if you start the Master League in Europe. So lots more, and then we go into the national teams. Obviously you've got Europe, Africa, North and Central America, South America, Asiana group, and then you've got the two classic teams, Classic World Stars and Classic European Stars, I think. And then you've got user data, so if you want to play a match with your Master League team, you can, as usual. So loads more teams, which makes a much bigger and better Master League. Obviously a lot more players you can pick, and Also, a lot more teams you can go to in Become a Legend mode. So, all good there. So that's that. Let's come out of that, and then we will finally show you a little bit of what's changed in the Master League. I mean, I've not started a Master League, so we'll just quickly pop into it and I'll show you. Okay, so you get usual start, Master League, original lineup, or you can choose. So you choose a club. So I will be the SP Spartans because I've made them. You choose a league that you're going to go in. So again, what second divisions you want to be to get promoted into? Will it be the Premier? And you've got lots more choices. Like I said, you've got Brazilian, Argentinian, Chilean. You know, you can go in all of these now. So a lot more choice there straight away. So we'll pick the Barclays and select your nationality. Now, this is to do with one of the other new features in Master League, where you can become the national manager further down the line depending on your club ranking, and that you don't necessarily get offered. I'll put Belgium in because I quite like Belgium. You don't necessarily get offered the Belgium job, but there is more of a chance you may end up getting it. But there you can see, in PES 2014, you get the chance to be a national manager, which is obviously a new feature. There is no office scenes on the Master League this year, so that's all been shortcut. There's no assistant anymore waving a bit of paper at you or stick at you. Again, it's a similar menu to Become a Legend, but you've got it all there, and a lot more is being made about the club ranking, as you can see there. That is the important thing. Now there is like 350 club teams in the game getting on for it. It's a lot harder to get up through the club rankings. I think last year it was about 250. There you can see your finances straight in front of you, and you can see how you're getting on season and league. The calendar is totally different this year. Gone have the individual day blocks of previous years. You've just got this now. When it comes back up, skipped it, we didn't want it to. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, the calendar, I don't want it to skip, I want it to hold. I don't know if it's possible to hold on to the calendar or not. But there you see it. It's very quick off the calendar. Now you see it, now you don't. Anyway, the calendar is a lot more streamlined. It's not individual days anymore. I think it's probably a week at a time. Here's the other thing, you can now change clubs. So at the end of each year, you will sign a new contract, either with the club you stay with, providing you do well enough, I'm assuming, or depending on where your club ranking is and what sort of season you've had, you will get offered other clubs. Could be anywhere in the world. So you now have the opportunity to change and switch clubs in the Master League, which I personally wouldn't be doing it with the SP Spartans, but because I want to build my club up right from the ground up, like I have in previous editions of PES. But I think I will probably also play another Master League where I will be perhaps looking at other offers and switching from one club to another. So I think that's something that has been crying out for in Master League. A lot of people have been asking for it, so you've now got it. I'm certainly interested in managing the national team, so that'll be a real big thing for me. So I'll be looking forward to that. The other thing is all of this has been streamlined, so game plan slightly different. The other thing on here is you see the yellow glow underneath the players. Well, that can change to blue, to red, and that's the new heart feature that comes into play, and it's player motivation. I haven't seen a lot of that in what I've played so far, but I haven't got stuck into a Master League yet. I know other people are saying it does make a big difference, perhaps a last ditch tackle, or someone, you know, scores a wonder goal to get you back in the game. It lifts the crowd and it lifts the whole team, and the individual involved gets a real boost of adrenaline and motivation and goes on to be worldly. So that's the default team this year, the same defaults as last year. Slightly higher rated than last year, so I don't know, I think all the sides are probably a little bit higher rated initially, so it's all relative, but that's your default team you will start with in the Master League. Yeah, so on the squad list, this is a slight change here. On the trigger buttons R2, you get to see annual salary, market salary, affection for the club, and their contract. So it's all there nice and simple for you. On the other side, it's the usual stuff. A lot different stats in this year. As you'll see there on the goalie, handling high balls, speed and agility, and there's saving for goalkeeper and those sort of stats. So come down to the centre back, you'll see you've now got ball winning, defensive prowess, controlled spin, lofted pass, attacking prowess. There's a lot of different attributes now for their skills. Final ball vision, penetration, work rate, intercepting, physical strength, covering, strength in air. So the whole stats have had an overhaul as well, which is a good thing. And then if we come out of that menu, come out of that one as well, we go to the negotiations. Okay, list of targets. This is all changed as well. It's all been streamlined. Again, here's your list of targets. On R2, if you click through, annual salary, market value, and you've got the percentage there of what chance you have of signing them. And on the other side, right hand side, you can see the development process is in decline for him. Again, you've got your stats as usual, whatever cards they have. But because of the streamlined in the calendar system this year, when you go for someone, you get an answer the next sort of slot or the next day on or whatever it is on the calendar. So that's a lot different. So just say we're going in to buy him, we add in negotiations, and there you see that's a different screen again. So you've got start negotiations or request a loan move, and there it is in front of you for that player. So like I said, that's been there's no boot boosting this year. There's no, if I go in and also I'll show you the my team information. So that's usual, all the same there on information. There you are. If we click on schedule, that's the schedule window this time. So you see there's only 2 weeks there, which effectively I think that used to be probably 4 or 5 weeks, or it was individual slots per day, but you can see the whole sort of transfer from sort of July right through to the end of September there is all streamlined in 3 or 4 slots. So there's a big difference there. It's been streamlined quite a lot. The other thing that's gone now is, yes, you've still got expected finances, but you no longer employ doctor, trainer, scout, and those things. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think that was quite a nice touch that you could buy a scout and it allowed you for more bids, and they come back with their scouting report. So I'm not sure whether that's a good thing that's been taken out, but it has been taken out nonetheless. But a lot of changes have been for the positive. A lot more clubs. The ability to change clubs in the Master League, a lot more streamlined, got rid of the nonsense with the assistant and those sort of things. But the biggest thing that I'll end this video with are the changes to the gameplay, and I'm just going to let a bit of the gameplay run and not talk over it. But the gameplay's had a massive overhaul and it looks and feels totally different. It's still a PES game, but to be fair, what they've done with the graphics and the animations this year is fantastic on this generation of console. So fair play to Konami. PES is a must game for any football fans this year, I think, and if you've been previous fans of PES, you're not going to be disappointed with this one. Hopefully that tells you what you need to know in a nutshell what's new in PES this year. Okay, so anybody who's been asking it, hopefully that covers it. And don't forget The SP Spartans Master League season will be starting soon. Once I've got the Skybet Championship teams and that in position from an option file, I will be kicking on with the Spartans and be ready to follow the army in PES 2014, unearthing those next new Spartan heroes to go down in folklore. Okay dudes, I've been the Pro Spartan Gamer, and thanks a lot for joining me. Cheers.